Hey guys, this is Boomer for Caravel Gaming, and I'm here with Lee.
Hi guys.
Now, Lee has been bugging me forever to play this game, and we have done an intro for it, so I feel it's only fair that we go a little bit deeper into it, and Lee did draft Hex with me earlier, and since unfortunately, despite our best efforts, Hex is not completely free to play, especially from a PvP standpoint. It's not completely free to play. We decided that we'd set ourselves a little challenge for Heroes. I keep calling it Heroes because I'm so used to Heroes of Might and Magic. It's like, by the way, if you haven't played Heroes of Might and Magic 3, just pick it up and I'll see you in like 6 months when you're done with it. And we're going to play Duels of Champions, and we're pretty much going to attempt to F2P it, aren't we?
So this is basically going to be our where we start from, startup guide kind of thing. A couple of tips to kind of shortcut the grind, because it will be a grind, because you're essentially trying to free to play it. So the outlying things we want to do is, because of how the Swiss tournaments work, sometimes there is a weekly format which can be base set 2. Just the base set 2 cards, not the Heart of Nightmare cards, which are a bit harder to get hold of. So we're going to build a deck, which I found on the internet, and we will leave you a link below to go look at some decks as well, because you can do this for the other factions as well. But we're going to do Necro, because it's basically quite oppressive, and we like oppressive things.
And also, if you were a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic 2, you would recognise that the Necromancer was the cheesiest faction possible in the most awesome way.
And it also lends quite well to doing the base set 2 thing, because if you get a base set 2 Necromancer deck, you can play against the standard decks with it.
Okay.
We're going to ignore open because we're not millionaires and we're trying to free to play.
However, we have taken a little bit of a shortcut on that front. If you look at our intro video that we did for Heroes Duels of Champions, you'll see that there is a link that you can click to create a new account. I myself have in fact done that. And you'll notice I have 55,000 gold, and I also, if we go to our achievements tab, and we just go by the ones that we've completed, that we completed the tutorial. In other words, I click through it, and we reached level 2 as a stable hand, and that got us 2 base set 2 packs. But if we go into my cards and deck area, you'll actually see I have 5 packs. Because if you click the link and set up a new account that we open with, I think you get, it's either 35,000 or 50. It's a bonus amount of gold that you get.
We're not sure all the packs are base set 2 packs though, because we've not checked that yet, because we didn't accidentally open them without you guys here.
Yeah, we couldn't do that. That'd just be, you've got to have pack opening in a video.
So the first thing we're going to do is open some packs and see where we go from there. Okay. And then we'll have a look through the starter deck and the powerful cards in there, and we will see what happens. Well, this is definitely a base set 2 pack.
Okay.
And we have exactly nothing we need for the Necro deck, but the revised tactics is a very interesting card. Yeah. What I will suggest as well, guys, is eventually we'll unlock something called the Infernal Pits, and you can basically essentially dust, coining a Hearthstone phrase, your cards for gold. I would not recommend doing that unless you have more than 4 of a card. I have previously thought in my high and mighty I can play card games and I know what's good like phase of looking at things. I've lost a couple of cards I would now really like to still have in my collection. Because the one thing we're going to struggle for is getting wild cards going this way, so we're going to be facing a bit of RNG. Wild cards are essentially what you can buy cards with at the Altar of Wishes later, but we'll go through that in a bit.
Okay.
So unfortunately, a swing and a miss for this pack.
It's a succubus. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, I'm trying to look for stuff that I would recognise, because the thing is, I played a load of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, but I haven't really played it a huge amount since, because, sorry to say this to Ubisoft, I think that the series peaked with Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and been kind of riding that ever since. But anyway, let's open some packs.
Yes, another Undead Minotaur, we are happy. And a Chain Lightning, a powerful spell.
Chain Lightning was just such a...
So there's a lot of... You can learn a lot from looking at your opponent's spell schools, of how you need to position your guys to avoid the AoE. And like Chain Lightning is one of the spells that you need to learn how to avoid sometimes, which is why you'll see us setting up in a certain way. And I'll try and explain it when we're going through it.
It's very similar to when you play Hearthstone, you want to play around Betrayal and Explosive Shot. And
Yeah,
things
pretty
like
similar
that.
to that.
Okay, so we
But
got a
hits. We got a Minotaur, and I don't know whether our starting hero has as we say in Oldham, as our casting school.
Okay.
But it's a good start.
More packs.
Another hit.
Got a Surging Titan.
Unfortunately, I am not sure the Titans and things are very good in Academy. Someone will probably prove me wrong at some point.
Yep. And what did we hit? Well, we got
The
Untamed
Untamed Wraith is in our deck, so quite happy with that.
Nothing else was a hit, but
Nothing else really. We really want to open some more Soul Reavers, which is just straight up kill your guy.
okay.
So we're going to unlock some achievements, but what we'll do is we'll go into the achievement tabs and look at them next time we're in.
Look, it's shiny.
Yep, the foil cards do look quite spangly.
Do it. Yep. Right click just to zoom in. Oh, I see. The yep, the classic thing that you mentioned, I believe, in the first video that you really like. You can just go back and forward through the entire.
What I also like is, yeah, but you can go back and forward. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you. Everything that a card does is explained in detail
Here.
on the right-hand side. Very well explained.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason we're not doing this on my account is, unfortunately, I may be into the game a little bit, and I may have bought a couple of booster boxes.
It's only the same. To be honest, we're kind of doing the same on Hex at the moment. The first few videos that we're going to do are going to literally be just with the Kickstarters, the Kickstarter boosters that we got, plus about 10 quid's worth of platinum.
More packs
to get through them. But I'm pretty sure that I will be. I'm pretty sure that I will probably be spending money on that game.
Oh wow, I can't believe we just actually got her. I really need one of her on my account.
Sorry.
She's one of the better uniques. And
Let's see,
which we went Academy.
365 Magic Channel 3.
That
Wow.
ups your magic by
Holy
3.
mackerel! Yeah.
Spell resist takes 1 less damage from spells. Well, half of it actually.
Yeah, it takes half damage from spells. Otherwise known as being a frigging golem in in the Heroes card game. Whenever you play an instant spell, draw a card. Hello. It's quite
so Boomer is a happy chappy because we know how much he likes his instants.
Yeah. Draw 3, discard 2. It's almost Brainstorm, but not quite.
Those cards are terrible. The Gargoyle's good as well, but we have another Minotaur. Believe it or not, guys, this guy, he looks all innocent and things, but he will be doing most of our heavy lifting until we get some of the rares.
It just feels like attacking him's a bad idea because he hits you back for 3, and he has 6 health as well, so it's going to be pretty hard to remove him. Just like super durable dude. Okay, so that's how packs opened.
That's our packs we started with, open, yes.
Yeah.
Now we have a consideration, and I'm not sure what is best to do. We could buy some more packs, which is always good, of the base set. But I think what we'll do first is we'll go and have a look at our Necro deck that we've got set up already.
Sounds good. Apparently it's time to edit my deck.
It is. It really handholds you through a lot of the bits and doesn't really leave you hanging or anything. Yeah. Even though I previously said we are going to just have a base set 2 deck,
Yep.
up until the point we can make this base set 2 deck, what we may do is we may put some of standard cards in as well, because we'll be going to be queuing in the ranked duels to level up. Now, talking of leveling up, every time you level up you get 20k gold, which is enough for a pack.
Yay.
And then you have 5k left over. However, as you get to about level 10, you start earning about 10k from playing through the games.
Yeah.
So it's basically every time you level you can get 2 packs, which is what I recommend doing.
Okay.
There is another shortcut, just as Boomer opens up this deck from that bottom left hand corner that says Dex 1. I'll just explain this. There's some cheaty achievements you can do. As long as you have a friend, you can...
But I don't have a friend, and maybe many of us.
You can do... basically, guys, if you don't have a friend on the game, There's Boomer's name up at the top corner.
I knew this was going to happen.
Limo 6990. I'm happy to get friends as well. Boomer's complaining, but the other cheaty thing you can do is if you get 50 friends, you get some of the premium currency, which you can buy more packs with.
Is that this or?
Yep. So together as a community, like the Caravel Gaming guys, we can get this 50 friend thing sorted really easy.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go to the crayon on the end, or pencil. That will open up our deck.
Yep. And
because we've got our hero in there, this is the stuff we can put in the deck extra.
Is this her, I take it? Sarah?
Yes, we are Sarah. 112 is what you basically get from the basic starters. We are looking to upgrade to a different hero, but I'll get into that later when we actually do it. So she is, of the spell schools, dark and water. So that's the moon,
eclipse and water elemental. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically the spell she can use.
Yep.
So the first thing we want to do is we want to put in those 2 Minotaurs.
Yep. Is it just a double click job? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a double click job. Take out that void. There's a 3-drop in the bottom left. He's not very good in this deck. He's very good, but he's not very good in this deck.
That's 1 out.
We take out the fire elementals as well. The big fiery guy.
Lesser fire elemental.
Yeah. The big fire elementals are quite cool.
I'll take them out. And,
we'll just get rid of these quickly, guys, then we'll go through the actual deck. If you put in that Banshee, and we also want to put in the other.
We did pick up something. I do.
Yeah,
remember.
it's that one. It's the Untamed Wraith. I just can't remember the name.
Yep.
And we need to take a card out. We'll figure it out in a minute. So if you just double click on one of the cards, we'll use the super scroll sideways feature and just talk about some of them quickly.
So we've got Saria, who's our woman sort of thing.
Our hero.
Our hero.
So a 2-1-2 for 1 is pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
Every faction's got one, I think.
Seems a lot when, we're talking 20 life that a lot of these heroes start with. It sounds like the game's going to be over very quickly.
It's because you've got to do a lot of attacking through creatures, it doesn't actually happen that much. So we keep scrolling. Press the right key.
I did.
Yeah, so Black Vulture is pretty part. You're playing an extra mana just to have flying, which means you can win the front or the back row.
Yeah.
But, you got to take your licks, because we just started.
You're playing a starter deck, deal with it.
She's fine. She won't be in our final list, but she's fine for now. Just because Incorporeal, as long as she's not playing against magic, pretty powerful.
Yep. Okay, Necrophyte Lich.
This guy's another vanilla guy, so he's generally every faction has something started like this.
Yeah, he's also a shooter.
A shooter.
Yep.
And he's magic as well, so he can shoot from the back row, doesn't take retaliation.
Which is quite nice.
So he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We like him. We're hoping to get to 4.
Moonsilk Skeleton. And the first appearance of Crippling.
Yeah, he's very good as well. He's going to be in our final deck. I mean, like I said, guys, you can do this with any faction. I've just found a base set deck that I really like.
Yeah.
And I think Boom will enjoy, so we're going to do it from there. So these are all been so far, you've got to be Necro to use. And this is the most annoying thing. This is the bane of my existence on my account, because I play like really fast aggro demons. Yeah. That just stands in the way and goes, hey, I'm a tree.
And I regenerate.
Yeah. So he's pretty good.
Sea Elf Archer.
This is a neutral minion, just another shooter.
Mm-hmm. Minion for hire.
Yeah. Just a merc, basically. We've got to fill stuff out.
Vampire Knight.
He's going to be a 4-off because, quite frankly, he's ridiculous for his the 5 health and immune to retaliation. He's pretty sick, and he can go in either the front or the back row, so he's very good for brick walling things.
And life drain too, and all that lot as well. Otherwise known as Vampire Lord. If you those games, you basically when you were in that game, if you had a stack of Vampire Lords big enough, you were just invincible. Because it didn't even matter if your opponent had first strike on them, you just attacked without retaliation. They retaliated, gained back a load of their life, and then you couldn't retaliate against vampires, so they just hit you again and like just all rise from the dead. It's like you just couldn't do anything against them. It was horrible.
This guy's a bit parp, but you know, Infect is okay, I guess. The other thing is, guys, what we'll do is I'll get Boomer to put a link below this video as well for the deck we're working towards.
Yep.
And you can have a look at that. I mean, I'm happy to. You can basically do the same thing we're going to do for any faction. It's just you'll be picking up different cards, obviously.
Untamed Wraith, this is what we picked up. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're going to be playing him in the other deck as well. Yeah. Just that 4 with Incorporeal is really, really painful for people. We're basically just a grindy deck.
Yeah.
Because you know everyone likes to durdle and grind, so we're going to do that.
I played Ruby Blood in the last Hex draft, man.
Yeah, whose fault was that, though?
Well, that was your fault, yes, to be fair. Undead Minotaur, just a heavy, heavy hitter.
He's just a beastie boy.
And we actually have 4 of them in this deck now, it looks like.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Fate Spinner.
I'm not a fan. I find the Infect 2 is why she's costed as she is.
Yeah.
But again, another beefy body she'll do for now.
Although the thing is, what does Fate Spinner mean to you as a Magic player?
I can't remember.
It means
Wasn't
broken.
there a bug on Modo?
Yeah, it means broken Magic Online. That's what Fate Spinner basically means. For those who don't quite know, there used to be a bug on Magic Online where if you played Fate Spinner, Fate Spinner was a creature that basically made you randomly skip one of your phases. And on Modo, it made the pass priority button disappear. So you basically just your opponent just timed out. So all everyone did for like a while it was on was just try and play turn 1 Fate Spinner. Arclich. Pretty powerful shooter, it looks like. A bit expensive, but you know, life drain on a shooter and with 6 health seems like it's going to be really difficult to get
Yeah,
past.
he's very good. We're going to have 4 of him in our deck,
Funnily enough, yeah. Moonsilk Spider.
He's okay for now, but again, he's replaceable.
Gonna eat you. Look at that.
He does look quite hungry. It's not a rip-off of anything from Lord of the Rings, we promise.
Putrid Lamassu. I mean, everything's a rip-off of everything these days. Let's put it
In general, I am not a fan of Infect, as I've said, but she's fine, you know. This is why, like, the Minotaur's so good. When you look at something like this, it costs 5 and has essentially the same stats. You're just not. It's just like, wow, that guy's so good.
I do kind of like this flavor text as well.
I've not actually read any of the flavor text. Yeah, that's quite good.
Ice Shell.
You'd think, coming from a magic background and other things, that enchantments are quite bad. However, this is very versatile. You can use it so their creatures can't move.
Yep.
But the preventing, you can just basically go slam it on my guy, hit your guy hits me back, but the retaliation gets prevented, or you're going to stick it on like a tree, or any of your fat guys. I do like that card most of the time. It's not going to be the final thing, but considering we're stuck to water, it's one of the better things.
It's one of those things you kind of have to have the... you kind of have to realise that games don't exactly play like you would think if you're used to another game. You know, for example, in Hex, auras are actually really good. Whereas in Magic, they had to change the rules to make them even remotely playable. And obviously things are going to be different in this as well, so you can't just evaluate cards based on how good they are in another game.
Yep. That's a trap we have to try and avoid.
Well, it gives you an idea, but you know, the card's not going to be exactly as powerful.
See, this is an example of how setting up your formation is very important.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it isn't. I lied.
No, it isn't. You lied. This is just crippling.
There's one that does it on a row, but it isn't this one. I was talking about Moonsilk Strand as opposed to Fetters.
Okay, Shared Agony. And then it's Pariah, isn't it?
It's basically a removal spell for a lot of the aggressive decks.
Yep. Death Seal.
It's going to pass for our removal at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically a 2-for-1 myself to kill something enormous, isn't it, for the most part?
Yeah, you can get away with it with your life drain guys as well, or your shooters. You just put it on something with a shoot, and the shooter pings and it dies.
Cursed Bound. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks, it deals its damage equal to its controller's hero. That seems a bit meh for 3 mana.
Yeah, we're probably going to take that out in a minute.
Wither, that is pretty. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a removal spell.
It's fine actually. It's because our hero's 1/1/2 to start with. It's not fantastic, but it gives -3/-3 to start.
Yeah.
And then if you can just pump up your
magic or pots or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
And that helps. And then the next spell is the reason dark magic is retarded.
We destroy target creature. Yeah.
Your thing, it is dead.
Take a deep breath. Nice. Ariana's Lair. This is a fortune card. So it is fortune, not luck or whatever. It's fortune.
Yeah.
Discard.
The actual resource is destiny.
Ah, right.
Use it to spend fortune. So yeah, we'll probably call it 20 other different things in the video. Yeah. This is a bit parp as well at the minute. This is one of the reasons I wanted to go through it, to actually look properly and decide what we're taking out. This card's fine.
Draw a card.
It occasionally ramps you.
Yeah.
And then you draw a card.
Oh, you gain 4.
So you pay 3 and gain 4.
Oh, right. Okay, that's a bit confusing, but yeah. It's hard.
They use this template a little bit on some other cards as well.
Draw 2 cards.
It's not. You can't afford to sit there and spend 3 mana drawing 2 cards in this game.
Even if it is instant speed as well.
No, instant doesn't mean you can cast it in your opponent's turn. It just means.
Oh, rubbish.
Cast it.
Death is not the end. Take target non-unique card from each player's graveyard and put it on top of their library.
Also, not the best at the minute.
Nope. Soul Harvest. Not great
That's
again.
It's okay. It's surprisingly better than you think it would be. It's not something that we're going to cut straight away.
Week of Knowledge. Draw a card. You cannot play any card this turn.
See, these are events. Every deck has to have 8 events and 1 hero.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for a while, we're going to be constrained with our events. But this is very good in any deck that doesn't have any 1-drops.
Yep.
Which ours will eventually be.
Yep.
It's also very good as a throwaway event that doesn't help your opponent in any way.
Okay.
Because your opponent can use your events and you can use their events.
Ah, I see, I see.
Which is another... This game's pretty deep, guys, I'm not going to lie.
Day of Fortune, discard a card, then draw a card.
Yeah, we like that.
Week of the Weaponsmith. The next creature you deploy this turn gets +1 punch.
It's pretty wank.
Hailstorm, deal 1 damage to all creatures.
Which, in our deck, with our incorporeal stuff, that reduced that to 0.
That's pretty
also,
good.
we've got some beefy guys. It's okay for us at the minute. So...
That is it for our deck.
As I can remember, we need to take another 3 cards out.
Yeah.
So what we will do... First, I'll show you how to do it once you get a bigger collection. If you go into Factions, boom.
Faction.
Top left.
Yep.
You set that to Necropolis.
Yep. Water and dark.
Yeah. And then if you go into Advanced, and you go, we're going to do Standard at the minute.
Yep.
And that will show you all the cards you can use from that, and then what's Water and Dark. So that's the only card.
Yep.
I'm confused. It's something crazy. Never mind. Just cancel all that because it seems to not be letting us do what I want to do. I wanted to make sure we can see all the cards. Maybe scroll up. Nope, nothing there. Okay. Alright, well that's how you basically, once you get cards, you look for stuff. So our next option is we can probably just play some ranked duels, or we can spend that 550,000 on buying some packs.
55,000, not 550,000. Yeah, we can do that. Do I have to click done here because we have saved the...
So what we'll do, guys, is we're probably gonna stop here for now on this video.
Yep.
That's gone through the Necro starter and like our plans, and then we'll be back very soon with another video.